and the nuance of the thing is what makes it a little bit different. When it comes to negative self-talk, because we started there, right? Negative self-talk, kind of beating up ourselves. Negative self-talk is not a knowledge problem. It's actually a conditioning problem. So while they might know that they have negative self-talk, that they're hard on themselves and they may have some beat themselves up, knowing does not actually solve the problem. It actually, it's actually just phase two. So the only way that they can change when it's something like negative self-talk, if we're going in that space, is we actually have to learn the skill. One, we have to stop the pattern that we don't want. We must pattern interrupt. So if I'm speaking in a negative way, if I'm hard on myself, it's not enough to just stop it. I actually have to learn a skill of like, what do I say instead? What does my positive self-talk look like? I have to give my mind the thing to replace it with because it creates a vacuum. I can stop the pattern, but I have to actually replace it with the new. And that's the repetition. That's why if you've ever heard of like smokers, that when they quit smoking or any type of addict where they quit the thing, um, and sometimes they gain weight in replacement because they replace, if they don't purposely replace it with something, the mind will replace it with something else. It's a vacuum. So I'll pause here because this is it's a simple slide, but there's a lot inside of this. And I would say this is where most kids they just don't really understand where they are. And when you start to understand where you are, it's not like it's a discrete curve. It's just about understanding where are you and then being able to assess, okay, if I'm here, here's my level of competence, my skill, and I want to get to here. What do I have to do to close the gap? Instead of getting frustrated about like feeling I should be because I practiced so many hours or expecting to be in a certain place, the thing is if I'm here and that's where my skill set is and I want to be here, all my effort, all my focus goes to how do I close the gap? Part of that might be repetition, but more than likely to close it faster, there might be something that I'm not sure I don't know that I might need to know some little nuance to get me the extra 1%, to get me the extra 5%. And this is where either going back to, your technical coaches, your coaches, sometimes it's even with parents, because as parents, I'm sure like there's a lot of patterns that you see inside of what your kids do that they think they know, but you see something slightly different that if you could get them to see would make a difference for them to innovate, but they don't know what they don't know, right? So there's that layer of that.